Alright guys, today we are doing short stiletto ombre. Client request. She requested matte nude and white ombre with some gems, some feathers, some other stuff, but we kind of put it all together and made it work with also some gold acrylic thrown in there for fun. You're going to see some ombre, some smile lines, some encapsulation, just a lot of fun stuff. So right now we're just shaping because she wanted them very short stiletto, rounded stiletto, kind of like a claw look, I guess. So gonna get a good look at the shaping here, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the clear acrylic and move on to applying our other acrylic. Alright, now that we've got our shape pretty much down, it doesn't have to be exact because again we're going to file after we lay our acrylic. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my prep and primer. This is the dehydrator, but if you don't have that, I use Mia Secret dehydrator, but if you don't have that you can use regular alcohol. And then as far as primer, I used Young Nails Protein Bond because I've heard great things about it. I wanted to give it a shot, but we'll see how that turns out when she comes back for her fill. Now, we're going to go ahead and lay our thin layer of clear acrylic, and because these are short, you don't need as much acrylic overall, because you don't really need an apex on nails this short. It'll be there naturally, and you don't require the same support for short nails that you do for longer ones, so you really don't need to worry about a huge, building up that apex for shorter nails, as long as they're not too far off the nail bed. So we're going to go ahead and lay our clear acrylic, and then we will start with our color, and you guys can see what we did here. Alright, so I didn't want to just lay the gold glitter on because I didn't want those show-through spots, so I have some 24 karat gold acrylic I got from the nail plug. So I laid a really thin base of that down before I laid this. This is actually a gold glitter dip powder, I guess, so it's not very strong, and I just wanted a better foundation for it. And then I laid this dip powder down to give it kind of that glittery gold look. I'm not a huge fan of gold, but this, once I put my cover pink or my core pink over it, it's like a sheer pink. It helped blend everything together and took away some of that yellow look that the gold had. But I don't have a ton of gold stuff because I'm not a fan of it, so I kind of had to work with what I had. Alright, now we are going to start our ombre. So I happen to have all of my basic colors in glow, because I'm a big fan of glow in the dark. And I get all of my glow stuff from the Glam Trap House. So what I'm using here is Angel Glow from the Glam Trap House. It's solid white. It's more solid than the milky nut color. So it's a solid white, it glows in the dark. I'm also going to use Send Nudes, which is all-time favorite nude. It's kind of pinky, but not too much. As it dries, it kind of takes on a slightly darker tone. It's not the bright pink that you see at first. But with the Angel Glow, you want something that's not too nude, because it kind of needs to balance out that stark white. But this also glows in the dark, which is part of why I love it, because I can have just normal, basic, basic nails, and then they still glow in the dark. So it's kind of cool. So we're doing the ombre here, which on short nails is a little bit more difficult because you don't have that space to kind of work it out like you do on longer nails. So you kind of got to be pretty close to dead on with it. However, you know, leave yourself some room to build up on top of that ombre in case you need to adjust. So make sure you're doing super thin layers. That way, if you need to add a dot here or there to kind of blend that ombre in, you have the room to do that. So now here we're doing a smile line, which we are going to tip with gold. And you guys know how much I love color blocking and smile lines. It's like, that's kind of my thing. I love it because it's more technical and not artistic, so it's something I'm really good at. So we're going to do send nudes here. Keep an eye on how I'm shaping it with the brush, and then later I'm going to go back in with a file and make that line super crisp. Also, when you see me using that cuticle pusher, it's usually because I flooded something, and if I can't get it with my brush, I'll take that cuticle pusher and just like clean it off, because why not? Do it while it's still wet. Use whatever you have at your disposal to avoid flooding those cuticles. But anyway, so we did the smile line almost up to the tip, and then we added just a little bit of gold to finish out the stiletto. But you'll see more on that later. Alright, now that we've finished that, I'm going to go ahead and sharpen up my smile line. So I just take my coarse file and just kind of rock your hand back and forth, you know, in like a rocking motion to give it that nice even circle, because if you file it like one side and then the other, you're going to have lines, and you don't want that. So you just want to kind of smoothly go back and forth and give it that nice round edge. Also, you want to kind of take it over the top too to make sure you have a nice level base before you push that other acrylic up on top of it. Now, same thing on the other hand. I swapped every 2 nails on the other hand, so like whatever I had on the left, on the right hand, the index and middle finger were swapped, and also the pinky and ring finger. But both thumbs were ombre with the gems. So cleaning up my smile line here, and then we're gonna go back and add that gold to the tips. I didn't add the 24 karat acrylic underneath because it was such a small space, I didn't really need it. So I'm just adding that dip gold to the end, and then we are going to go through and cover everything in clear, and then we'll come back for filing. Alright, now I'm taking my sanding band and going over my smile line. This is where you reveal that nice sharp line. Take your sanding band and just go with the line, not against it. That way you're not pushing colored acrylic on top of the other color or spreading that glitter around. So you want to come straight down and then do like a half moon motion going with the line of the smile line. So basically now we're just going to go ahead and cap everything in clear and give our shaping a good once over, make sure it's where we want it. Because stiletto is a little difficult, so you just want to make sure you have that nice sharp line after you've added all of your acrylic and you're at the very end. So now I'm going to give it a good once over with my sanding band over the whole thing to make sure I have a nice smooth finish. I'm going to go over every nail just run it back and forth to make sure everything's nice and level. Then we are going to move ahead to shaping. I'm using my 8080 Pana Zebra Jumbo files. These are my favorite for shaping because they give you such a nice clean line. But basically I give it a good once over the top, good going over the sides, you know, clean up around the edges because it tends to spread out a little bit when you're doing something this short. So it can kind of spread out right on the sidewall. So you want to make sure you clean that up as much as you can with the hand file after you're done, whatever you didn't get with your e-file. And then we are going to move ahead to our gem placement and top coat. Alright, now that we've buffed it and we've wiped it down with acetone to get rid of any remaining grooves, I'm using my Beetles gem glue and adding it basically everywhere that I want gems or any kind of embellishments at. I have these little tiny gold, I can't tell if they're feathers or leaves, I think they're feathers. So we basically just use one gem and some little gold feathers to give it a little, I don't know, to kind of tie that gold in together so it didn't look out of place with the nude and the white. And then I used single gems on all the rest of the fingers and just added the leaf embellishment on one on each hand. So I'm not going to go over every single gem placement, but this will give you a rough idea. So she decided that she wanted matte, so I'm going to go ahead here and add my matte top coat, and then we'll take a look at the finished product. But in the meantime, don't forget my big giveaway coming up. We're almost there. Don't forget there are going to be 3 winners with 3 different levels of prizes. We're also doing 2 other giveaways after that at each milestone for my channel. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can find out about my next video. And if you have any questions, don't forget to comment down below, obviously, or any suggestions for future videos. Please don't hesitate to let me know. Now we're going to go ahead and see this finished product here. I'm actually really proud of how these turned out because I struggle with short nails and they came out really well. I think the shaping was just really good for me. So And as always, thank you guys for watching.